Oh my God! I am.
That's a good one.
Oh, that's a good place to start right there. This is the post-game show. We're having a lot of fun out here today. We're watching Tiger. Mike and Roy are playing pool golf. It's a weird thing. I've never seen this before.
That's a shot.
Before we get to more of the nonsense,
Max Homa.
I want to plug what we got. We have a Saturday planned for you. You can enjoy some Elijah Craig bourbon, watching the Masters, and then after the Masters, you check out
Elijah Craig what?
bourbon. After the Masters, you check out our watch-along. Me, the MMA hangout, Juju Gotti, Tony, Lewis. We're going to be watching the UFC card. We got a boosted parlay for the people.
Really?
Yep, we got a boosted parlay. We're taking all the favorites. We're tired of losing. We're guaranteeing victory on this. We're taking – who are we taking?
This is fun.
Here?
Is Billy partaking? Who's going to be
Everyone's
part of the
invited.
UFC crew?
Everyone's invited. The crew that will definitely be there is me, Tony, Juju Gotti, Lewis, but everybody is welcome. It's an open door policy. We're taking Chimaev.
Oh, no.
Jeez, Louise.
How'd I do, Mike?
Oh, no. Oh,
Chimaev.
no.
We're taking Jan, and we're taking Volkanovski. Those are the three guys we're betting. Yeah, we're taking Jan. Even though we talked to Aljamain. This is Tony.
You're picking against the person you interviewed this week?
We did. I mean, we want to win.
Why?
Unlike you, we're tired of picking losing parlays.
no.
So we pick all the wins.
What's that supposed
We
to
got all
mean?
the favorites. We're taking all three of them. It's boosted. Go to
There's only
DraftKings.
3 fights?
No, there's more than 3, but those are the 3 we're
You should've
taking.
just avoided that fight if you wanted to pick
Okay.
You're
against
taking
him.
all favorites on the boost?
We are.
Against
because,
someone they just spoke to.
Because we want to win. Because there's some big numbers on this. There's no, it's not.
All money lines?
It's all money lines.
You guys are doing a cheap, nothing but giant favorites.
There's 2 of them are
parlay?
giant favorites, and the third one is it's a coin flip, and we're taking the. I'm telling you, Tony knows his MMA.
Yeah.
We're guaranteeing victory here. This is not Billy at a Marlins
you
game.
can't guarantee victory.
I'm
Otherwise,
just-
you got to
Yeah.
refund money.
My
You
point
can't-
is, all right, you're right, maybe not guaranteed, but Billy at the Marlins game just pooped out a parlay. We're not pooping out
That's not
parlays
true.
around here. We're thinking about it, but that's it. Go check it out. Watch with us on Saturday on our YouTube channel. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Chris has got
What
a boat.
time?
Chris has a boat day planned. I have a boat day planned Saturday beforehand, so I
no,
should
you're
be
day drinking?
So I should be in rare
You're
form.
going to day drink and then try and do a UFC broadcast, and you'll probably have some gummies.
That's right. I might be.
Tiger
I
looks
might be. I'm
pissed.
gonna pull a Juju Gotti and be wearing sunglasses on Saturday night. I think that's gonna be the play for me. But I'm excited. Tiger right here. He's even. I think through 3. I know we're not live.
Has
So I
this
don't know
been
why I'm giving an
emotional?
update.
But this is the post-game show. Has this been? How does he look? How does Tiger Woods look to the audience? He's not used to having.
He doesn't look drugged like Stugotz implied.
That was unbelievable.
It was wild.
Injured.
He looks fine. He looks a little ginger because he's had a million surgeries.
Well, he looks super fit. He looks healthy. Has he been? Have you guys seen any pain from him? Have you seen anything? Stugotz said you were an idiot. First of all,
Right.
Stugotz railed against. He called you an idiot and Max Kellerman a moron.
Yeah.
Because you were saying that if he's not in a great deal of pain while golfing, wincing right now, you don't know shit, and you're an idiot who doesn't cover golf as well as
and
he
then
does.
Stugotz went to the bona fides of all the surgeries Tiger Woods has had, and it's like, yes, I'm not saying that he's feeling great. I'm saying that Stugotz was implying there was like a change in the driving range, and that was just nonsense. He looks fine. He looks good. It's the Masters. This could be Billy. Do you get into this? Even Billy sat down and was like, I might watch this. You're into this.
Yeah.
You're into the Masters.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
just-
hopefully this weekend. I don't know. We'll see.
It's great background noise. You sat down on a Saturday afternoon, you've got nothing to put on, and you put the Masters on. They're just soothing sounds to have on.
I got yelled at, Dan, a moment ago because of something that I did apparently that was like against the rules here.
Yeah, you took a full swing in here. Billy chipped a ball up near the TV. There's a mark on that cabinet over there. Billy, who's you think Billy he thinks things out. He's not going to take any chances. He just took a full swing inside here with all this expensive equipment.
The clubs
It's the
are
most reckless
here.
thing I've ever seen you do, though. You
Nothing
were just like, there's a
happens.
TV there. I'm going to take a full golf swing and just drill a ball.
It opened a cabinet. Nothing happened.
Right. It was reckless by you.
You were several
Why?
feet though away from a television. There are
Roy and
several
Mike have been
cameras
using
suspended-
full swings.
They're
They're just
putting-
using
no, they're
putters.
putting the
What's
ball.
the difference?
What's the most?
There's no camera that would have been
What's
hit.
the most reckless stuff you've done in your life? Like if you said you're like this was a reckless day for me.
I don't think today was a reckless day.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on you.
You guys just sort of petered out there.
Yeah. Sometimes we just like to let the silence
I
sit.
wanted to talk to Mike about Taylor Hawkins all week long, but I run the risk of being a grief eater to end our Masters coverage here because we have insufficiently in the 10 days since the drummer of the Foo Fighters shocked everybody and shocked his bandmates. It was a heartbreaking loss as a piece of your childhood. I think it's best for us to just all wander off here as Mike gives us his thoughts alone.
That's a winning position. Thank you, Dan. I have actually seen a lot of people get mad at how we've treated this because this is a tragic loss for the world of rock music. Dave Grohl's got to be in such serious pain because this was, if you've read his book, if you've heard him speak about Taylor, if you've seen them live, you know exactly how much this dude meant. This guy was the backbone and spine to a lot of rock music's most anthemic hits over the last 30 years. Maybe not a lot of people know this. I think some people got wise to it after Alanis Morissette's HBO special, but he was Alanis Morissette's drummer. And she put on incredible live shows early on that really legitimized her as a rock goddess at the time, instead of this pop song singer that came from Canada and had a previous career.
But the career of Dave Grohl as well comes through Nirvana, and then he puts together this Hall of Fame band, Hall of Fame band where all those guys, like, they not only did they make great music 25 years, but Mike, those guys really seem like family. Their creative stuff. There can be so many fights that break up rock bands, and you still heard at the Hall of Fame ceremony these guys talking about Dave Grohl, like just Dave Grohl, a different kind of rock star, superhuman. They were funny in their music videos, and these guys really enjoyed each other's
Doesn't
company.
seem like he has very much ego, right?
No, he
for
seemed,
the position.
Yeah,
right, given.
Yeah, for the position, he seems as down to earth as they could possibly
And
come.
also says he himself is not a very good drummer. He says that he himself is not a very good drummer.
Didn't he say that like he doesn't even know how to read sheet music?
He doesn't.
He just like kind of figured it out.
He faked his way throughout. It's a fascinating book if you have the chance. Read his autobiography. But Dave Grohl would tell you that Taylor Hawkins was the best drummer on the planet. Taylor Hawkins was such a shining star. Whenever you would watch the Foo Fighters perform live, he would often come out and sing. He gave off rock star as much as Dave Grohl did, which is saying a lot given Dave Grohl's resume. Truly hurts for anybody that's seen them live, for anybody that's followed them. They've been a very transparent band. They put out a bunch of very interesting documentaries and films about their history, so you could actually have insight into their dynamic, and it was a huge bummer. It happened in Bogota. I've read articles that said he had 10 different foreign substances in his body. I read one article that said that he had the heart twice the size of a normal heart. It's hard living and tragic. I don't know where the Foo Fighters go.
And he had struggled with addiction and had overcome some struggles with addiction. But when we heard Death in a Bogota Hotel, at 50 years old, I think most people didn't need 10 substances in the system, according to the coroner.
Yeah, we knew where that was headed.
To arrive at a place where something had happened here after we'd seen videos of him during the day, Mike, being affable, human, playing with kids, doing the things that don't seem like close to death, except when you get into addiction and the rock star lifestyle and people dying young who choose music as an industry, at least in part because they don't fear streaking across the sky and dying
If
young.
the reports are true about the sheer amount of narcotics that were in his system, usually you don't associate such a positive force with that kind of dependency, or at least alleged dependency. Usually it's this dark, deep presence that doesn't take anybody really by surprise. I'm going to tell you a stat that would shock most people. The Foo Fighters are the most decorated rock band in Grammy history. More decorated than the Beatles. Hell, most people would argue this is Dave Grohl's second best band. And the Foo Fighters are
introduced at the Hall of Fame by Paul McCartney because this is a band with weight, and he was a central figure at the heart of a band that got along uncommonly well making music.
And the band has announced, and again, not a surprise if you follow the Foo Fighters, the band has no idea where to go from here at this very moment, they probably can't envision making
I
any
think
more
he
music.
starts another band. I think just like he did after Kurt Cobain died. I don't want to move to the next transaction, but given what you think about them as a family, I don't believe he plays another song as the Foo
I could
Fighters.
see him. This is speculative, but I think we've done the obit well enough. But I could see Dave Grohl trying to heal by going to one of his many side projects, whether it's them Crooked Vultures, maybe it's returning to Queens of the Stone Age. People were really surprised when Dave Grohl started Foo Fighters and he was not on drums, because that was their point of reference for Dave Grohl. But he said it himself, Foo Fighters is a guitar band, where Nirvana was all about the rhythm section. Foo Fighters were driven by guitars, and people have come and go from the Foo Fighters, and Dave Grohl didn't know exactly where that would leave them. They ended up coming back, but the relationship between he and Taylor was special. I don't know if Dave decides to go to drums, given the fact that it's a guitar-driven band. I doubt it. I would be... I think it's 50-50, Dan.
Well, they're not going to get
it's
another drummer, are they?
I could see them bringing it. I think it's a 50-50 proposition that they bring in another drummer.
You don't think it's more likely that Grohl forms another band and just ends the Foo Fighters as we know them? Hall of Fame last year. Mm-hmm. He got to enjoy that moment with his family and their wives and their kids. 25 years.
They said for the foreseeable future. They didn't just announce that they were done. I don't think in the emotion of it all.
Not a good time to make a decision.
Yeah, it's probably not a great time to make a decision. They've canceled all their festival dates. They didn't show up to the Grammys, to my knowledge. I know Billie Eilish did a Taylor Hawkins tribute with her T-shirt. It's one of rock's greatest active rock bands. You always said, Dan, that we're running out of rock stars. Dave Grohl and Jack White, these are aging rock stars, and they still mattered. And I'm really bummed. Because thankfully,
but
I got
Dave
to
Grohl. Dave Grohl did not die though. Here, Mike.
No, but the Foo Fighters might have.
But a piece of him did.
Yeah. Oh, a huge piece of him did. He was better friends with Taylor Hawkins than he was with Kurt Cobain, and he wore that for several years. Taylor Hawkins is his best friend in life. This has got to be absolutely soul crushing for him. I'm not sure when he's ready to speak. I'm not sure what it means for the future of the Foo Fighters. I'm not even sure what the appetite is from Foo Fighters fans to see another incarnation of the band that doesn't feature Taylor, because Taylor was that important to the band. So they have, obviously the Grammys agree, an extensive catalog. I'm not sure if they make new music. I'm not sure how they tour it. Maybe Dave Grohl goes to one of his many side projects and finds his way of healing. He never brought Nirvana back. Granted, that was a different situation. It was a three-piece. It was the front person in Kurt Cobain. But your take isn't a bad one.
I think that Dave
it's
Grohl,
50-50.
Dave Grohl, as one of the most human rock stars I've ever seen, a man who's actually willing to let you, articulates for you, and it's been a pleasure to admire him and his work, but just doing rock music with a wink and a lack of ego, but a great deal of emotion and family and love. I'm genuinely curious as how he tries to respect his best friend and what he's struggling with on how to make music here on in, because music is something he's made for 25 years with this guy because they're connected.
Yeah, I struggle to figure out how he's going to find joy in playing with the Foo Fighters, knowing that he had Taylor back there the entire time. I honestly, I'd bet my own money that if he ventures back into music, he does so slowly with side projects. He plays the drums on Liam Gallagher's most recent single. He's played drums on Queens of the Stone Age records before, plays drums in them Crooked Vultures. He could start a new side project at any time. I think he tries to find his own way. And it's probably more likely than not that the days of the Foo Fighters recording brand new music and going out there and touring, most people would say they're probably done right now, because Taylor was such a huge integral part of their live show and the positive energy. The Foo Fighters were a largely positive band. And when you saw them live, you kind of got it, because if you actually see their catalog, you know that Dave comes from Nirvana. But their catalog and even Dave's songwriting, to a degree, you try to figure out what is it about this band that gives them this status. And then you see them live, and you see Taylor's energy, and you see how the band just gets along and how largely positive. One of the best concerts I've ever been to is a Foo Fighters concert in Nashville. It was an overwhelmingly positive experience. And I don't think it can be that anymore with the tragic sadness that comes associated with the backbone of that joy being gone. So it is a huge loss for rock music, not just for the Foo Fighters, but if you think about what he meant to Alanis Morissette, it's hard to find a celebrity drummer, and I think Taylor Hawkins was that, and it's going to be a loss. Everybody left us. Everyone in the studio is gone.
It's a depressing ending to a fun show today, but I do have to salute you. Yes, Chris Cody walked away. Billy, again, was thinking about taking a very hard, full golf swing driver to the expensive equipment around here, but I do have to salute you. The biggest surprise of the day is you make a hell of an old-fashioned. Yeah,
really good. Yeah, I'm coming back for another drink.
Fair play.